Welcome back. Sastel has announced a plan to increase broadband connection to rural Saskatchewan. Jillian Code has more.
Today on Primetime Local News, I'm joined by Greg Jacobs. He is the External Communications Manager with Sasktel. Now, Greg, Sasktel has announced the Rural Broadband Partnership Program. It's hoping to increase rural connectivity to broadband networks. Is this more of a think tank or is it boots on the ground? Let's get this thing done.
Boots on the ground, let's get the infrastructure done. We at Sastel, we invest more in broadband infrastructure and in communications infrastructure in Saskatchewan than any other communications provider in the province. However, even though we do invest so heavily in the province, we recognize that there still are areas of the province that we can't reach alone. And so by partnering with other broadband providers, other internet providers, we're planning to and we're hoping to be able to expand their networks to get to areas that we couldn't reach by ourselves and they couldn't reach without us.
And so this infrastructure would help increase broadband access to rural areas. Would it also work with Indigenous communities to get access there as well?
Yeah, it would be any community that is underserved in Saskatchewan. As it is in any province, the most difficult areas to serve are primarily the areas between or the spaces between communities where we have farmers, where we have acreages, and then Indigenous communities as well sometimes pose a different challenge than in some of the other communities of similar sizes. So this program is flexible in that it could be utilized to serve an Indigenous community, a farming community, or even some of our smaller communities in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, an internet connection, or I guess the ability to have an internet connection, isn't really something that a lot of people think about, but there is a lot of areas in the province that don't have adequate service.
Yeah, if you were to compare the service that you have in, say, Lloydminster versus what you would have in a northern community, Lloydminster would be better connected, would have better access to services than a far northern community, especially since, as I'm sure many of your viewers would remember, just a couple months ago, we announced that we're investing $6 million to bring fiber to the Saskatchewan side of the community, and TELUS is handling the Alberta side of the community. In northern Saskatchewan, because of those additional challenges, we primarily deliver broadband via our DSL network. And there might be some opportunities to upgrade that to fiber, but it's not, we haven't announced anything on that side of the house yet. From the wireless perspective, from the wireless side, we did bring a couple of cell towers, a couple of additional cell towers to northern Saskatchewan as part of our Wireless Saskatchewan initiative, but there still are opportunities there to improve services.
That was all the questions that I had. Are there any other aspects of this you think we should touch on?
You know, there's one other thing that I'll touch on. Right now, so about a few weeks ago, about a month ago, Sastel had announced that we're investing or that we're doubling our investment in rural fiber. So we are investing $100 million to bring fiber optic broadband, the very same type of broadband infrastructure that we are building in Lloydminster. We are bringing to about 40 other very small Saskatchewan communities, rural Saskatchewan communities. This program, the Rural Broadband Partnership Program, is in addition to that. And it is going to be another way that we help to bring broadband and more advanced broadband services to areas of the province where we couldn't do it ourselves and they currently don't exist. So we're very excited about the program, and we have high hopes that it will help us get the percentage of the population that has access to 5010, the CRTC's benchmark of 5010 service to more people throughout the province. Right now, we can deliver that to 85% ourselves. So to get that above 90 and closer to 100%, we're really excited about this program.
Do you know what the numbers are like right now for what the coverage is like in the province?
So percent of population in communities is a little bit different. We can measure on both sides. So from Sastel, just Sastel alone, so this doesn't include the contributions from other broadband providers in Saskatchewan. Sastel alone, we offer that CRTC benchmark of 5010, 50 megabits per second download and 10 megabits per second upload or better in over 350 communities throughout Saskatchewan. That equates to about 85% of the population of the province.
And broadband connection really has, evolved over the past, even decade, even less than that, something that used to be considered, a privilege, a luxury, something like that. It's an essential service now in 2021. You have to have that connection.
Very much so. We're doing this interview very much over a broadband connection, right? And having access to that infrastructure is a game changer, which is the whole purpose of the program, is to bring this type of connectivity to more residents of our province.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's wonderful. Greg, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you. Take care.